Hey, Jared.
Yes.
What's the deal with Yale students always looking stressed?
Because they're at Yale. Great question. I don't know.
You'd think at least $400,000 tuition would come with at least one good night's sleep.
Yeah, probably not, though. Yeah, it's rough. They're all dressed so well, though, like this film.
Yes. Hey, welcome back to Screen Time Film, a podcast where we discuss the director's filmography in chronological order. We are ending this with this guy, Luca Guadagnino.
Nailed it. By the end, you got it. You got it.
Got to get that enunciation in there. Yeah, so this is his most recent film after The Hunt. So, Jared.
Yep.
I don't feel comfortable having this conversation with you anymore.
It's going to be tough since we're doing a whole podcast.
So, my name is...
scene, though.
Yeah,
that is an awesome scene.
Yes.
We'll talk about it.
My name is Josh, and this is my co-host, Jared.
Okay, mine's going to be very serious. Most people don't come to analysis looking to break old patterns. They're looking to affirm that they don't need help. Which, again, our dude, Michael Stuhlbarg, dropping bombs of wisdom like every film.
Yeah, he still don't think anything
It's
in this
amazing.
compares to his lines and Call Me By Your Name. Like that.
No, but that one in particular, I was like...
yeah, there was some standouts here that...
yeah.
That were,
He's a legend.
was like, oh, this is why you hired this. You brought this guy back. You needed somebody that could deliver this stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so this film came out this year, 2025, as we're recording this. Rated R, 2 hours and 18 minutes, which seems to be
The longest?
his little, well...
around the same.
I didn't, I think it might be a little bit longer than, at least a little bit longer than last week's, but like these last couple films have all been in that like ballpark, like the 2 hours and teens, like, whether it's like 12 minutes, 15 minutes, 18 minutes, like, so that, which I don't know. Yeah. I feel like most of them, you could have trimmed it, but definitely last week's, but.
Oh, last week's was the word. Yeah. Yeah. This was how recent though? Like, I'm trying to remember.
This was in the theaters like a couple months ago. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. I was wondering when.
Yeah.
So it was like over the summer?
No, like fall.
Oh, is that recent? Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Pretty sure.
They
I think it was like
doesn't
September.
stay in theaters that long anyway. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. All right, this synopsis. A college professor finds herself at the personal and professional crossroads when a star pupil levels an accusation against one of her colleagues, and a dark secret from her own past threatens to come to light. So this is written by Nora Garrett, and cinematographer is Malik Hassan Saeed.
Yeah.
And then
Different guy.
Yeah, different guy. And composers Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross.
Oh, yeah.
Production costs. What do you think, Jared?
This is... I feel like because of the cast, this has to be more than... Well, no, probably still more than Challengers because of who's in it. I don't remember what Challengers was, but I wrote down 70 million.
75.
Okay. All right, I've been relatively close on a lot of these.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Of course, this is too new to have even been nominated for anything for the Academy Awards, so it's kind of an NA on that.
Yeah.
We normally discuss. Our cast, again, to his typical approach. It's pretty just small cast. He's kind of pretty much all these films have been.
But is this his most like star?
I guess. I
mean
like,
for like even now,
because like even
like how big these actors are.
Yeah, because you've Andrew Garfield and Julia Roberts both are decent, well-known actors.
Because with like Chalamet, he wasn't that big.
He was still early.
Like Zendaya was the only one I feel like out of
even that was still a little. Probably when they filmed it was a little early in her career. I mean, like Euphoria, coming off Euphoria probably, but not, she hadn't actually done Dune, like it was filmed.
Yeah,
very true. So, or Dune might not have been out yet when it was filmed, whatever, somewhere in that ballpark.
It's around there.
So, and then, I mean, what was it? The early one had
Armie Hammer?
Yes. Well, yeah, but it was, what's her name? And then the two ladies that were in the early one.
Oh, that's right. Forgot about that. Yeah, Tilda Swinton.
Dakota Johnson. Yeah. And I mean, they were both pretty well known by then.
Yeah, I don't know about Dakota Johnson.
Well, I don't think Dakota Johnson ever. I mean, she never gotten like to that level.
I think she is now, for better or for worse.
Yeah,
she's probably the biggest she's been, or at least a lot of people talk about her.
Yeah,
but
I mean, obviously she made a big splash with 50 Shades of Grey, just by doing that film is kind of like where she became a household name.
That was when she,
But then, like after that, she hasn't done anything. I think very major, recognizable, not recognizable, like critically praised.
No, I don't think so.
And then you have like things like Madam Web and things that, yes. But she keeps doing movies, and they keep putting her in things. So
I know.
So besides that, we like Michael Stuhlbarg. Then you have
Ayo Edebiri,
I
think.
Yeah, I was not sure how to say her name.
Yeah.
From The Bear, famously, and then but yeah, she's great in that, and then of course she was great in this. But so I think, I mean, and this is early in her, like, hey, I did TV and now I'm getting into movie career. But I think 5-10 years from now she's going to be pretty well known.
I do have a note about her in this film though that we'll get to though.
Yeah, and then we have Chloe Sevigny.
Oh, that's right.
Just in there as a side character.
Yeah, she's barely in it, but she's always great. Yeah.
Then the only other note I put, because I saw this, the writer Nora Garrett also happens to be an actor, and
really
played like one of the other students, Billy.
Oh,
I mean, I didn't know her. Like, I don't know what she looks like during watching the film. Was after and pulling the notes together, and so I was like, hey, that's coincidence. There's an name in the acting that's the same as that writer, and it turns out it's the same person.
Cool.
And so
didn't know that.
Yeah. All right. So, what do you think of this movie?
So
this film, this cinematic thing.
Yeah, we have to call this a film since everyone in this is so pretentious. Which, speaking of that, so from overall thoughts, I wrote down this film is basically just very pretentious people discussing and arguing about psychology, as like a lot of the film. Which, funnily enough, I was actually really into, and I was very intrigued and actually really liked it the whole time. Like, I was surprised how much I was like into this story. I think it helps having our two main, Julia Roberts and Andrew Garfield, are like so good in everything. And then now the level that even Michael Stuhlbarg, I mean, he's in so much, but he's always great too. I don't know. I just was into it like pretty much the whole way. It is long, like you said, but I was really into it. What'd you think of it?
Yeah, I don't think I quite liked it as much as you.
Okay.
Like, I didn't not like it, but I did feel it drug a little bit, and then I did feel the like kind of second act, so to speak, where we basically don't have Andrew Garfield in it at all. Really, like, lacked that the charisma that he brings to that character. That really, I think the dynamic between him and Julia Roberts was really good in the first act, and then of course, again, he's not completely in it the whole time in the third act, I would say, like in the story, but at least he's in there some, and he just when they're together and the scenes they were together was my favorite scenes, and I think just really missed that presence in that middle part of the movie. Yeah,
I wonder why. I mean, I guess I know why, because of the story.
Written,
but he should have been in more, though. I wish he was in it more, but yeah.
All right, well, we're going to get into it. All right, so our the opening stuff where they're kind of all together at this dinner party and kind of get introduced to everyone. I thought like I think you were alluding to earlier, even though stuff is kind of like highbrow, like discussing the things, the scene itself was great, and the dynamic and even you get that chemistry between, like I was talking about Andrew Garfield and Julia Roberts' characters, and how like you can say like they get each other intellectually, they get like there was just this like bond they had at so many different levels, that like it was just interesting to watch and enjoyable to watch.
I agree. And I like how it's paid off well too, like because you see them act that way, and then later on you understand, like
you find out eventually that they had been together.
Which is all. I mean, even from the beginning, you have an idea. You kind of
assume, but then you're like, well, maybe not. Yeah, you're like, maybe not.
Yeah. So I wanted to. So my note about I don't remember her character's name, but Io Adebiri in this. Maggie, okay. Because the main one I remember is Alma, which is Julia Roberts. But
Hank is Andrew Garfield.
Hank.
And Frederick is the husband.
Frederick, I remember him. Yeah, I don't remember Hank as much, that name. Anyway, but so I wanted to mention about Io is because you thought she was really great in this, and she is really great in The Bear. I think in this, though, I think she's a little out of her league in this. At least it felt that way to me, because not in The Bear, though, which is interesting, but in this, I guess because the scenes she mainly shares with, who she shares it with, but sharing scenes with Julia Roberts, Andrew Garfield, and even Michael Stuhlbarg, in my opinion, like, she just gets outshined by them, and like in what she has to do, because she's such an important part of this whole film and what happens in the film. I mean, she's kind of the main thing, that like sparks everything off. And I don't know, in those scenes when she's with these other actors that are so great, I think she's just not, she doesn't carry as well as she needs to for like how pivotal of a role.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know that I agree.
Okay.
I don't know that I agree with that. I think because like the distinct scenes to think about is, when she goes toe to toe with Julia Roberts, like 3 times. I mean, like in the little like courtyard of the school where she ends up slapping her.
Yeah, that's one of the best.
And that, I mean, I think she definitely is toe to toe with her as from a performance standpoint there. Later in like that parking lot near water, whatever, I don't know, that they met, again, that as well. And then towards the end in the like coffee shop, diner, whatever it was.
Oh, like the very final scene. Yeah.
I think all those, they were very strong. I think because she's portraying a character that's basically supposed to be a spoiled brat, basically, right?
Oh yeah.
Right. So like, I think there's,
they talk about what her parents did, or how like they basically paid for what?
Yeah.
Pretty much the whole school, or something like that. They were
whole
talking
department,
about?
or something. I don't know. Yeah, something.
Right.
So I think what she's navigating in this is that, and it's like she's an insecure until the end, till the very end. It's like 5 years later or whatever, right?
Yeah, that's a big difference. The time jump.
Yeah. But up until that point, she's bouncing this person that has power, but such insecurity, right? She's plagiarizing her.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Whatever paper, whatever it was.
Is it dissertation or was it something else?
I don't know
like
that. I can't remember what. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's even basically throwing in lawyers around to do stuff with. And again, and the reality is like, and we can get into this, but like they never really say what happened.
No.
And so like we're still, it's like up in the air.
Which is actually, I didn't write that down, but that's something we should talk about at the end and see, like, and guess what we think. Because I think it's somewhat
there's things that are implied. I think.
Yeah, but no, I think he intentionally made it like to where you kind of think for yourself what you think heaven. But
all right, what's your next?
I don't have too much. I don't know if this is Alma talking to sorry, what's her name again?
Maggie?
Maggie is Io.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, the other lady.
All
I mean, like basically we've got Hank, Frederick, Alma, and Maggie is like
I remember though. I don't know why I'm blanking on. Yeah,
because like really
I know it is mainly though.
The like girlfriend or boy, well, it was like non-binary or whatever, like who she was with
For Maggie. Yeah,
Maggie's like I don't remember the name, but irrelevant. Like not a relevant character in general to the story.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like
no, it's mainly those four.
Insignificant from a character standpoint.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think this scene. I don't know if she almost saying it to Maggie, or if she's saying it one of those times to just like these random, we'll say Gen Z students that she's like kind of combative with. Which again is like, I mean, it's the same thing as Maggie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's again, when we get to themes, like that's a big theme about this is the arguments and worldviews of the Gen X millennial versus the Gen Z people. Like that's so much of the conversations in this film, which I think is really interesting. But when Alma says, not everything is supposed to make you feel comfortable. Yeah. I thought that was such a great line. And I don't remember if she says it to Maggie or to the other students.
No, she kind of does a variation of it to the other students when Maggie's not there anymore.
Okay.
But like not that direct line is what she says to Maggie when they're in the parking lot.
Oh, before she gets slapped.
No, I think it's in the parking lot later after the slap. Pretty sure. Yeah, but you're right. Like that's there is that conversation undertones throughout the film where like, she's more that she would Julia Roberts' character probably is like even.
You don't even think she's Gen X?
Is that the one before millennial?
Yeah, okay. That's what I figured.
Yeah, she's Gen X. Andrew Garfield's millennial.
Yeah,
and then Gen Z.
The rest
is like all the students are Gen Z. Yeah, and those that conversation of like, and I think, and it's like true.
Yeah,
I think that's definitely a thing that the current like young adult generation is like kind of dealing with, where it's like, you're not going to get through this life without some pain.
Right. Which is what she's trying to explain to them.
And and sometimes pain is good. I mean, like, most growth doesn't happen without pain.
Yeah.
Well, it's personal, physical. I mean, like it hurts to push a weight that's heavier than what you can, but then that's the only way your muscles grow.
Yeah.
The same with, anyway, even, I don't know, financially, from a, personal finance, it's a little bit of pain to like not spend all your money and save some of it, but then that's the only way you grow from so anyway.
It's just interesting because like when she said that line, like I resonate with her so much with that, but then it's like, that's what's I think so interesting about this film is that that's the constant argument, because you see so many times with the Gen Z people, how they're like, and Maggie even does this multiple times where she's like, I don't feel comfortable anymore. And she just like walks away. And that's like what they're trying to explain about like how different the way Gen Z interacts in different things versus millennials and Gen X. But I related more to Julia Roberts' Alma, like saying that, because I was like, that's important. But again, I'm a millennial. Are you right on the line of?
Yeah, and I
was gonna say, because I
think I'm more millennial than anything, even though I'm like right on the line.
But you're right on,
because it's just also I think
because I'm like right middle of millennial.
Yeah,
I think
and I'm like the early, but like I think just from like the what I experienced culture wise, and then just being I think a little bit always a little bit more, and then I guess I'm probably immature for my age.
Well,
no, I think I like
the
when
way
you
I
look
am
at
a lot of ways is like I'm like a baby boomer with my some of the things I like.
What was your Spotify? I know you don't use Spotify, but like
No,
Did you see that? Everyone's sharing that.
Apple Music Wrapped. Well, I don't know what
they
it's
put
called.
the age,
Wrapped.
your age of listening. Like on the, I saw some people
I
sharing their
didn't see that.
Spotify
That's
things,
cool.
and it's like, and it's because based on the music you listen to.
Oh yeah, mine's gonna be like
people that are like in their 70s, 80s that are obviously younger than me that I'm friends with, and I'm like, yeah, okay, because they listen to old music. But
yeah.
Anyway,
I would be what is before baby boomer. That's what my listening.
What is our grandmother?
That's what my
generation.
Like my listening habits. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wait, aren't they the greatest? Because before the baby boomers,
the greatest generation was like the World War II.
Yeah,
Great Depression.
Yeah.
So
she might be that, right?
Well, I mean, Mima was born in the middle of the Great Depression.
Yeah, so
which is crazy.
So she's the greatest generation.
Yeah, she is,
and she is.
She is. I agree.
She is.
Anyway, but I love that line, and like you said, it's used in like different ways in a lot of different conversations in this film.
So yeah, I did like the way they're challenging those ideas, but like I think they're doing it in a way like, because then I forget what she says back to her.
Yeah, oh yeah, because she
comes back with something good too and smart, and it's like kind of pushing back on that idea, and
it's the main argument between the generations. Yeah,
and I feel like in reality, somewhere in the middle is probably the healthy thing, right?
Yeah.
But it's cool. Well, I mean, we might as well just kind of talk about the rest because we're just jumping around, which is okay. We don't think we need to go through it linearly anyway.
Yeah, I only have one other.
But I mean,
note.
So there's the scenes, like I said, all those scenes with the two of them together, and like those three I was talking about earlier. I think all those are just phenomenal, interactions, conversations, and then again with Andrew Garfield pops back up at the apartment.
Yeah, which is also just weird that she has an extra apartment to just go to.
I mean, it seems like, again, I mean,
they don't really explain why.
I feel like what they set up for Frederick and Alma as a relationship.
Oh, right.
Is they're kind of like that. They're from, again, that even older generation, and they were probably hippies.
Yeah.
And then so like they kind of had this always probably like this little bit of free openness almost to the relationship that's not the way nowadays they're like, oh, we have an open marriage and we're going to actively, but like we were just kind of like, they probably like.
Although I don't know how far away their house is, which by the way, their house is sick. There's like, especially the kitchen was like crazy. But maybe that apartment is just like right next to the
school.
Yeah, and that would make sense. Like if you need to just stay there for the night
like
for whatever reason,
he would have the apartment in the city.
Exactly.
Because
that was he would use for other reasons, though.
Well, I mean, it seems like she probably was using it for other reasons too.
That's the.
But also, in reality, he also had it though for the reason of like, because then he ends up just sleeping in his office even sometimes, like
true,
because you just work like stupid hours sometimes, and if it was that much of a commute in and out of the city, I mean, obviously it was dual purpose. But yeah, they don't explain it and go into detail. So let's talk about the underlying premise of hers, which we get teased at the beginning. I do like that, like there's that thread, because even the comment about him bringing up that it was plagiarized, and then like of course she knew the whole time, but she doesn't tell him until later. The Alma knows, but like, and then even the the attraction for Maggie to Alma, and which
I didn't get it for, like I didn't think that was
Frederick even mentions it early on. Oh yeah, but he mentions it earlier on.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, okay. And then Alma's like blows it off.
She whizzes away.
But I think deep down, because then when she brings it up later, she's like, I think she probably thought it all along. And she enjoys that, which is kind of like they play with a little bit, both her and Hank's character. Like they enjoyed the attention from these students that look up to them and almost like flirt with them and are infatuated with them at some level, whether it's physical attraction or just like, hey, I'm just infatuated with you from your level of intelligence in this area, right? And so there's like this weird dynamic, right? And I think they also kind of imply through this story that they both liked that, like they thrived off
Oh
that.
yeah, they did for sure.
But I think the then reveal of this like old story from her childhood,
Yeah,
and where she basically made up something and ruined this guy's life, and he ended up committing suicide.
mm-hmm.
We finally kind of get that reveal towards the end, right, of what happened there. Is where then she, is, I guess, so triggered is probably the best word to use,
Mm-hmm.
like in this situation. Now, the fact that she didn't tell the truth and made something up, I think implies that Maggie was either exaggerating the way it went down or not. Like I feel like that's,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think, because I think, like, I'm sure something happened. I'm not saying that something didn't happen.
Well, his Hank's behavior,
Mm-hmm.
you see even later, like, I think something.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But you're right.
But I don't know that
maybe
it was
exaggerated.
not, I don't think
Yeah.
it was that. Yeah. So I think, yes, Hank's behavior implies that, like, yeah, he can be a little forceful, right? When he,
With Alma, like
Alma
later.
was
even,
later,
yeah.
but
yeah.
But also then he also says, which I kind of believe him in that moment, where he's like, this never happened with anybody else.
Yeah.
It's because I think he's always been in love with her.
Oh yeah.
So
That's
then
what it seems
then it's like, so I don't know. I think she might have came on to him, this like,
Oh, yeah.
And then he kind of was like, no. And then she got upset. And then instead of like
Mm-hmm.
waiting to see if anything would happen, she decides to make up part of the story. And
But that's why it's like, this film is so good for nowadays. But even for like several years ago, like when Me Too first started even. But
Yeah.
like this is something that's so relevant still today. And especially in like this huge prestigious college
yeah,
scenario. Not only with Maggie, but Hank. Like I love the diner scene pretty early on with him and Alma, where he's like, I could, like, literally my whole life could just be ruined, like in this instance, where he's like been building up, I don't know how long at this college.
both of them were working towards tenure.
Tenure, that's right.
Yeah, which
they pull for her.
Yeah, they took it and pause indefinitely.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because of the script she wrote for. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was kind of an interesting, like, unnecessary subplot. I think that just kind of really didn't.
No, they didn't need to
But
do all that as well. But yeah.
yeah, because like in the very beginning, the other student in the opening scene talking about how it's like hard for a white male that's a
Mm-hmm.
straight white
Straight,
male,
yeah.
like being difficult and, and stuff, which is like, I mean, there's I would say not truths in there. There's like things in there that like you're like, yeah, but in reality, it's kind of ridiculous. But
Mm-hmm.
but
I think there can be truths in all, and
yeah,
in a lot of stuff in this.
but it's just
But a lot of exaggerations too, which is like
Yeah.
kind of the point of a lot of what goes on in this movie.
But I think the main part of it,
Yeah.
where like, I think in general, it's not, yeah, it's like, no, that's still easier for white males than anybody else, but in general life, but there is that moment of like, yeah, but they're going to believe anybody over you in a situation like
Yeah.
that nowadays. Right.
Yeah.
And I think
yeah.
that's kind of what they imply in this film is like, yeah, people can, and they're going to be like, well, you have the upper hand. So then,
Yeah, for sure. My last thing is, because we see a lot, we see through a lot of the film, like different things that happen to Alma, but and then we finally see at the end of the film, but Alma having multiple ulcers
Mm-hmm.
and then not telling anyone about the ulcers at all. I think, well, he shouldn't even tell her husband till like she's in the hospital, but I think it's clearly a metaphor for how her generation which I'm saying more like Gen X and those older generations, how they deal with their feelings and emotions, where they just shove them down and deal with it. Like that seems to be clearly why he threw that into the plot. This whole, at least that's what I thought about.
Or why it's written in there,
Yeah.
No, it's
she doesn't tell. I mean, she doesn't tell. Not even her husband.
It's like, I mean, even if, I mean, yes, it's the emotions, it's nice, but even just pain in general,
yes,
like thing like that. It's like, no, I'm just gonna suck it up and deal with it myself. And it's like, yeah, I mean, that's, you know, our father's a great example.
But again, to your point, it's like I think the truth and the best and most healthiest and balanced way is like a balance of a lot of the stuff in this, but or somewhere in the middle, like you said. But anyway, I just thought that was an interesting way to portray that, because like probably the way Alma was raised, which they don't really get too much. They just really anything about her past is this crazy thing she did with her dad's best friend, right? So we don't really hear much about her dad or how he raised her, but like, I imagine it was probably that way, like how a lot of people in that generation were raised, were just like, just suck it up and deal with it. And I just think that's interesting to make that a plot point in this.
Yeah.
Be in like an actual physical way where she's thrown up throughout the whole film, right? Yeah, that's pretty early on. She's like that. And then it gets worse,
doubling
obviously.
in pain at different points. And yeah.
Anyway,
well, I was going to say, well, what'd you think of the ending?
I was cool with the movie just ending where it did. Like, I didn't even think we were going to get like a jump forward. You said it was 5 years?
I think it's
something like that.
Yeah.
I would say the only thing, because that scene was fine too, like the scene with them 5 years later. But I don't really know if it really like made a difference or changed their relationships at all. I don't know. What do you think about that? Like, I don't think it was necessary. That's my point.
And then, well, I think it was. I mean, I liked it. It didn't. I still left things kind of open ended, but like, I think it was interesting because because then also Alma says she's with Hank, right?
I don't remember her saying that. Really? She's not with Frederick anymore?
I think because they say something about like, oh yeah, how's Hank, or something, and like, or she's like, yeah, we're happy, or something like that.
Oh,
I think.
Okay.
Now I'm trying to remember, but I think this is that there was that line in there, like like Maggie says to her, like about like, I realize I'm different than you, and that's actually good. And it's because I actually feel things, because she basically doesn't allow herself to feel anything. And again, to your point of kind of that juxtaposition between the two, or the three generations, but because it's actually they're 3 generations separate, or there's a whole generation in the middle. They're like we've been talking about. And it's like the one's so extreme one way and the other's so extreme the other way.
Yeah, and it is Gen X right after or right before millennial, right? Yeah, because then it's baby boomer.
I think so.
I think that's the order. Anyway, but yeah. Which again, I think that's her range. I think her range was. I think Alma was Gen X. That's what it seems to be. So,
but yeah, so I think it was. I enjoyed that little scene and that nugget. Because I still don't think it like wraps it up clean. Like it still leaves things kind of open-ended, but like gives you a little bit of perspective on, Maggie maybe grew a little bit, and then Alma is still the same person.
Yeah. So, well, I guess you kind of.
But also maybe not having the ulcers because she's finally told the truth of her lie that she had dealing with her entire life. So
it is kind of, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe that is probably why she's with Hank now, because it is pretty brutal that like when she's in the hospital and finally tells her husband what happened, and he basically just says like, I love you no matter what. and she doesn't say that back to him at all.
And then
I
it
was
fades
like,
to black. Yep.
I was like, dang. So you might be right that she's not with him anymore. But well, I guess you kind of already talked about this, but what you think actually happened with Hank and Maggie? So you think it was like
I think they
exaggerated on both ends?
Oh,
to
yeah.
an extent.
Well, he didn't. Yeah, I mean, I guess he was trying to say nothing happened, and then like it probably something happened, and then she was saying, "Oh, he raped me," and then
Yeah, I don't think it was.
I don't think
that far either. Right? Yeah. But again, it's the different people. It's the different generations' perspective of what they think is that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a huge.
Right, like which quote unquote is rape to her,
to especially Gen Z as opposed to
what he would consider. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that way, but you're probably right. Like
that's
what's
a big
even the
it.
definitions of the words, and what you include in that versus,
because even just having Alma and Maggie's conversation, just her raising her voice, and then Maggie saying, "I don't feel comfortable with this." So it's like even to that extent, like she's already feeling, like, I don't know what the word is. I guess just not comfortable. Yeah, like she says. But so like, yeah, that's a huge difference between like, let's say if Alma was arguing with her husband, who's probably around the same age as her,
right,
or even Hank. So anyway,
no, it's true. All right, I'm gonna talk a little bit about cinematography. You got anything?
Not really. But well, I just want to say like, I really enjoyed this movie anyway, but especially coming off of Queer as the last movie, like, that makes this movie feel even more amazing of a film. Yeah, because that again, like that was, it's like Luca's low point to like. Yeah. Anyway, I think this film's pretty high, even though I've only seen it once. I'm probably will watch it again eventually. But
it's definitely, I could see it being rewarded with a rewatch to see some of the nuance of all the relationships, that because the way things end up playing out, and you kind of, as you learn things throughout,
you'll be able to pick up more on,
you might be like, oh yeah, okay, I see that now, and
or even body language in different scenes. I'm not really familiar with the cinematographer, but I did think this film looked beautiful and had like a constant, you'll be able to explain this better, but it seemed like it had a constant like haze or sheen to it in some way. I don't know what the correct word would be for that, but I thought it was a really cool look to it. I don't have any specific shots in mind, but
it was trying to.
Did you get that too?
No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, okay. I mean, it was probably just.
Or is that a specific lens?
I mean, it could, well, you do that in different ways, right? Like you can do that with even a filter on the lens, to kind of give this like kind of hazy. You can, some of it, it's partly. It could be the lenses, like if you used more vintage lenses that are just not as clean and crisp.
It did actually also look grainy to me, so I was wondering if it was film.
I did not. We'll have to see if it's something trivia. I didn't look it up specifically, but that's what I was going to say. Or part of it is like if you use a type of film stock that is going to give you that look, which is what the filters and stuff are trying to do. Like we're talking like filters that go in front of the lens, not filters you do in post. Though you can do some stuff in post in the color grading to kind of give it. And then of course some of it's like, I think, kind of going for that old world, at least the old world America, at least like, cause it's, you're at Yale, even their house feels like
it does,
a vintage house.
Well, their house feels almost like European.
Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah. Well, and the campus of Yale does too.
True.
It almost looks like it, belongs in England, not.
I was going to ask you what you thought of the lighting, because it seemed pretty low light a lot of the time. I feel like you would really like I immediately thought
it was very natural. It was
lighting.
very naturalistic. I think very appropriate for what you're doing here. You don't, you want it to feel very, and again, kind of supporting that.
It's a lot of shadows
the buildings, they're older. The buildings are not going to have much, but just like a little bit of natural light. You're not going to have very, modern lighting in these buildings or in the house. And so like, everything. No, I thought it was, to what you said, I thought it looked beautiful. I think it was shot well. And I think there's some, interesting shots of, like, I just remember even like the first time, I think she was like, she's throwing up, or Like there was this
In
like
the
this
bathroom.
wide where like had the divide of the like a middle part of the house, and then the maid was in the kitchen doing something, and she was over here in the
Oh,
bathroom,
yeah.
and she comes out, and then she like doubles over in the middle of and just like that framing and that movement, all with the camera not moving, right? Like, and just that blocking of doing that.
Yeah, it's cool.
So there's like multiple times of that where there was some cool blocking on a wide shot like that. We like don't always get in some of the other with the other previous cinematographer. I think, other than Challengers, like it's weird, like because Challengers like had a different level of like that he didn't really do in some of the other films. That
I know.
it's unusual.
Well, the one thing I did see that the cinematographer did is a few of the Lana Del Rey music videos, which is like always looked incredible to me. Which again, her music videos, just because of her sound of her music, even the way she dressed was very kind of old or like mid-century, you know, like, and the music videos always look like insane production value, but also like old school looking. It was just cool. So like makes sense to have that similar feel for this film.
And and a lot of the frame, there's so much texture in all these frames, and some of that's the set design and stuff because of everything feeling very like just like their house and the campus things. Like they're just an older building tends to just have that character and texture that just a newer modern space is not,
For sure.
and they just so
I just remember this just because we already talked about this actor, but I just really liked his character too, Frederick in this. But the scene when he's making dinner, when she comes over and he keeps walking in and out, was just so funny. Like that was one of my favorite scenes.
Yep.
Because he kept being more dramatic about it every time he came in and out.
He's always playing loud music because when he'd open the door to walk through, it would get loud again, and they would be quiet because it's Maggie and Alma having a conversation.
Because he leaves because he's like, this is like a woman's conversation. I don't know. He said something like, this is a woman's conversation or something. Yeah. Anyway, that scene was great.
Yeah, it was again, but then there's all the intimate, conversation shots that I think do great. I mean, but then also I don't know, again, I enjoyed the cinematographer's choice and different things. I think about like when, like just another shot that sticks with me with when Alma and Hank are arguing in the apartment, and then she tells him to get out, and like then there's this shot where like she's by the window and it just like has so much negative space in it, just like to show like the empty space between like
that's what's going on in her head. Even like and
it's
awesome.
just like things like that just really nice touches here and there.
Cool.
Music, score, your boys.
Your boys also. I know you like, but
I know I like
Well, do you have any notes on this score?
So the score itself,
I definitely do.
Not so much.
Okay.
Notes. The one thing is, and this is more of like a nitpick on the sound, like the ticking of the clock.
That was at the very beginning.
But then it comes back later a couple times, right? And I feel like, I don't know, there was something about it that like rubbed me the wrong way in the mix. Like it seemed a little too much.
It did. It was pretty loud,
and it was, and it went really long sometimes. Where you're like, "What are we doing?"
I mean, that could have been the point, but it did get annoying.
But it's like, and it would be, there was just something about it that felt a little off to me. I mean, I get the point of it was trying to like,
it's supposed to unnerve you. It's
unnerve you, and it would be like there with everything else quiet, but then and then it would normally like break the silence with something like it was almost like her coming. But she would normally Alma would do something to break that silence, and you'd get it. But then like when she did, like it still was like there, like very like in your face. And I don't know, that just didn't work for me, I guess is the like.
Yeah. Well, this score, I mean, Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross always crush it. But this, So this was a lot of this was like mainly piano driven, but it had like a classical piano feel to it. But it was also mixed with like 70s conspiracy thriller sound, which was awesome for this film. Even that, like, I don't know, like it really worked for me. It's very interesting because for this kind of film, it's not what you expect at all, but I thought it was sick. And I mean, they can do any style of music, which they have done. Because they've even done in what was that Fincher movie, Mank? They did like a 40s jazz theme for that too. Like they can do everything. But anyway, like I don't know if you could like felt that kind of feel of it, but it's just so interesting for this kind of movie. But I thought it was awesome.
Cool. Yeah. No, when you say that, yeah, there was definitely like a, yeah,
like the conversation.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
A little bit. I mean, we talked about how that was like how Severance got their feel. So,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely had that.
Yeah.
Cool. So themes and messages.
I didn't have anything specific. My main thing was just like what we already talked about, which is the conflict between Gen X / millennials versus Gen Z with ideology and sociology. Like that was like,
yeah,
pretty much the whole film.
It's interesting because
is that conflict and like how they feel about those.
Yep.
Things.
Yeah, I think that's definitely part of it. I just wrote down explores the idea of what's real and who gets to speak and at what cost. So like, you know, what's truth, right? And I think that's also, but it goes along with like, yeah, how do you the lens of all that being interpreted is definitely by the generations, right? Like,
yes.
And like we were talking about, just the term like word rape, like what does that mean to a different generation versus another? And then, you know, yeah. And then of course how that's interpreted then and what's truth.
Well, not even just the R word, but like sexual assault in general, like is very different.
Yeah. I guess that's, well, that's what like, I think is like, right.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what you're talking
like,
about.
Yeah.
Which is what she's talking, mainly.
Yeah.
Mentioning Maggie is. Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. Cool. Well, let's look at a little trivia.
Yeah. I mean, is there any?
Yeah.
Okay.
The character of Maggie was originally written as a white woman in the script before being rewritten by Luca after Zendaya was initially cast as Maggie. She later dropped out and was replaced by Aya Eldebri. Ayo, how do you say that? So
Zendaya in this was sick.
Well, that would have been crazy.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield's been trying to.
That's like the complete opposite. Like she could like even.
Yeah.
Because she's just like one of the best like young actors right now. Like she would have no issue, in my opinion, going toe to toe with any of these people.
Yeah. Andrew Garfield had been trying to work with Luca ever since he saw the film I Am Love.
Oh, we didn't even cover that, so that must have been an early Italian film, yeah, or a short he did.
Yeah, it was 2009. Says.
Okay.
See, Luca's second film to use Windsor Light font for the credits. This is known as the Woody Allen font.
I did notice that, yeah. It's a very specific thing. Yeah. I guess this is the closest to a Woody Allen film that he does.
Third film with Michael.
Our boy, yeah.
Yeah, there's not, I mean, like you said, there's not a lot here. Third time Julia Roberts played a professor in a movie. The other time was Mona Lisa and Larry Crown.
Okay. I haven't seen her like in a while in anything recently, but it's just like it's just so good to see her and like how much she still absolutely crushes it as an actress all these years later. Like she was amazing in this.
Yep.
Because when's the last time you saw her?
Oh gosh,
In something recent,
yeah,
like not an old film of hers.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't even know.
Yeah, I don't either.
The main thing I remember is, what was that? I never actually watched that show, but there was that show, it was a miniseries on Amazon as well. That
Homecoming.
Everyone said
That was sick.
that she was in.
Yeah, that was really good.
But that was like almost like probably a decade ago.
It was.
That came out. Yeah. So I think this is definitely worth a watch. I think wrapping things up here. So if you're thinking about checking it out,
I definitely want to watch again. Like you said, I think it would be rewarding for a rewatch.
So where are we going next?
So next, for the next 2 weeks at least, since you'll be gone, we are going to be covering Ari Aster. So just his first two films, which will be Hereditary and then Midsummer, which I
watched Midsummer recently.
Yeah, you did, because I remember you talking about it. But you need to see Hereditary.
Yeah, I'll try to watch it that way.
Maybe you can fit it in while you're gone.
Yeah.
But we'll be covering those two, and then I don't know. Do you already want to mention what we're doing when you get back?
When we get back, we're gonna kick off our coverage of and I'm
James Cameron.
James Cameron. I was trying to take a stay. James Cameron. We figured with the Avatar 3 coming out, we'll kind of be able to hit that then.
I thought he did so many movies, and you were like, no. And then I was just like, wow, you're right. But
there's some great films in there.
Man, yeah.
And so,
of course.
Looking forward to it. I haven't watched the Abyss in like ages.
Yeah, same.
And even Terminator. So, we got
to start with Piranha 2, though, which is crazy. He goes from that to Terminator, which is just so weird.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But no, it'll be exciting. And then Aliens, right? Yeah. So
it's crazy what he starts with. Yeah.
And then Titanic, and then
T2.
Avatar.
What else?
I think that's about it.
There's not many.
Yeah. But yeah.
Oh, Total Recall? No, not Total Recall. True Lies.
True Lies. That's right. That's a good film too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Man, and I haven't watched that one in ages either.
He just does action really well, like in all this stuff. Yeah.
So looking forward to that. But of course, we always love your feedback. So please, give us your thoughts about, stuff, either, previous episodes, or of course today's episode with After the Hunt, if you've seen it or have thoughts about what we said about it, or, please let us know. We love to be, I'm sure we were wrong about things. So you can do that.
Well, we can only speak for our generation, so.
And we were like in the middle. So we were like,
we're both technically talking millennials, even though we're 10 years apart.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Anyway, but we were talking a lot about the generation before us or after us.
We can't talk about Gen Z, but.
Yeah. Anyway, if you like, please email any feedback to feedback@screentimepod.com, or, leave a comment or DM us. And, we appreciate all you like and subscribe. And if you haven't already, please do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. And follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And you can follow each of us individually on Instagram. I'm at Jay Youngbar.
And I'm at Jared Youngbar.
All right. I'll catch you guys in a few weeks.